Escape to the world of your dreams with Windows Mixed Reality and hardware from Acer, Dell, HP, Lenovo, and Samsung. You can escape the everyday into a world of imagination. Personalize your virtual home with great content and surround yourself with apps from 20,000 available titles. Pre-order your Windows Mixed Reality headsets now at firstlooks.tv/Microsoft.
All right, so our next interview is here. Can you please introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, I'm David Guzman. I'm a first alumni from Team 1251 from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Originally Coconut Creek area, now we're in Deerfield Beach, but it's the same team. And I'm also a mechanical engineer for Sunny's Enterprises, which is one of the sponsors here at the event. As of 3 days ago, it was kind of last second thing, but
okay, so you're first alumni and now you're working.
yes.
How did that work out?
It's actually a pretty long story, but I'll try to summarize it. I started in high school as a sophomore, and our first year we didn't have any sponsors. We went to the event, we realized, hey, our robots sucked. It was terrible. We needed to find sponsors. So the following year we were introduced to this company named Sunny's, and they were like one of the bigger manufacturers in our area. And they decided that they wanted to sponsor the team. We met with their, at the time, the owner, the president of the equipment division, and they started working with us as young kids. They, their civil guy taught us Inventor. He's like, oh, here's how you use Inventor. Ooh. And anyway, I worked in the team for a few years. Then later on, they after they saw I was designing, I was the lead designer on the team, and they actually offered me an internship position after when I was graduating high school. So
wow.
I worked there for a summer, and then I went to school. I was doing school for a couple of years at UCF, and after 2 years, I asked for a recommendation letter. I said, hey, I want to try to find a part-time job in Orlando. Is there anybody you can recommend me with? He's like, the owner said, wait, hold on. Why do you want to find a job? And I was like, just something part-time. And then he's like, well, we want you to come work here for us when you graduate. So after that point, they started paying for my schooling. I went and worked every winter break, every summer break. I was working at the factory. Actually, my senior design project was a prototype for one of the washes. So, it's been with the company ever since.
Wow.
Yep.
That is quite the story.
Yeah. So what do you do now?
Right now at Sunny's, I'm pretty much leading the new product development and in the engineering department. So I get to do anything from R&D and testing of new ideas to final design, figuring out, working with other departments to do product launch and just different things. It's pretty fun.
So I'm going to say this, put this out there. Do you think you would have gotten this job if you weren't involved in FIRST?
Actually, I would definitely not have gotten this opportunity with the company if I wasn't in FIRST. I was actually just telling one of the kids outside that when I was doing my senior design project in college, I realized how big of an advantage I had over the other students because of FIRST. Because I was working with other students that were like straight A students, as bookmarks as you can get. Like they knew all the math better than I did at the time, and but when it came down to the project, they were just clueless about how to make a part, how to design a part, how to make a prototype. So I think that the kids that go through the program don't realize that until they actually have to use it, and they're like head to head with other students that haven't had the opportunity. It puts you at a big advantage. So.
And how have you been staying involved in FIRST since you've graduated?
I've been mentoring all through college. I've been a college mentor. Now, after I graduated as a mechanical engineer, I got in charge of the FRC build season. Then we actually split up from the school, and now I'm the leader for the club. We became 4-H, so I'm the club leader. Now we're doing one FRC team, two FLL teams, and one FTC team.
Wow.
So, yep.
And are any of them here at Roboticon?
No, we're not actually, unfortunately, because it's kind of a big thing for us to come in one night of hotel, and it was kind of last second when we decided to come. So we'll be at Mission Mayhem, and we're throwing around the idea maybe going to Jacksonville if they do have the event. So
where are they based in?
We're in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Okay.
So more about this company, you reached out to them, and they became a sponsor for the team.
Yes.
Do they still continue to do that?
Oh, yeah, they're our founding sponsor. So they're our main sponsor. Right now, we're actually working with them to bring the FRC team to the company. So we have we're working, trying to figure out how to set up an apprenticeship program so we can teach kids how to do some skilled trades like machining, drafting, or just teach kids how to use their hands, how to do things that they don't teach in school anymore. So they're still our major sponsor. I mean, 4-H and the University of Florida is actually one of our sponsors as well. But without Sonny's, we couldn't do any of the programs that we have with the 4-H club.
So what do they do exactly in their sponsorship?
They pay for a registration fee every year. Sometimes they do 2 events. We also have a deal with them that anytime we win an award that qualifies us first to go to championship, they pay for their registration to go to championship.
Wow.
That's awesome.
But the biggest help actually comes in-kind donations. So we do all the machining at Sonny's. We help with the design work. We set up the field at Sonny's.
Wow.
We have mentors from Sonny's that, they work with the kids from the brainstorming of the ideas to some of the prototypes that we put together. So they're just really involved as far as during the build season. Now for FLL and FTC is still kind of new for us. So this is the second year we're doing FTC, and it's the first year we're doing FLL. So right now we're still trying to grasp our minds around everything that it's involved with FLL. So it's actually my first time. Then Drew is one of our lead mentors as well. So we're both coaching the FLL teams, and for us it's like a whole new experience to work with the little kids because we're used to just working with the high school kids.
Wow.
And what are some of the challenges you've been facing?
For me personally, I'm just trying to learn how to keep them focused. I've noticed their attention span is like 30 seconds, so that's been a challenge. But other than that, it's just getting to know about how to make the project, how to keep them involved with, because at that age you're teaching them more than just the technical trades that would teach in like FRC. I mean, FRC we're teaching them like team building, but when you're at a young age, you're teaching them how to be nice to each other, how to when you pick up something and you start it, finish it. So there's the little things like that it's tough to teach.
How much time do you dedicate to just mentoring and helping out these teams?
A lot. I don't really quantify it, but it's been a lot. Right now we're meeting Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
That's
about
awesome.
3 hours every day, and then everything that we do in between the meetings to prepare the meetings. During build season, that's a whole nother story. During FRC build season, we always say at 1251 we build robot in 3 days, because usually we're like the last 3 days is like 24/7 trying to finish the robot program. So yeah, I don't quantify the hours, but it's been a lot.
Yeah. So during the FRC build season, there is a tremendous amount of mentoring and working on it with the company, right?
Yes.
It is like.
I'm lucky because Sonny's actually, when I started working with them, we worked out a deal that I get to go to the competitions as part of the sponsorship that they do for the team. So at least I get that time off. But as far as finding time to mentor the kids, then it's hard to balance the two things. Usually the last week when the field season's over, I go to my boss and tell him, hey, listen, like we need to finish the robot. I need to leave a few hours early, go work with the kids, and they're very understanding about that stuff. So.
What kind of parallels do you see between like the things you do at Sonny's and the things you see your mentees doing in FIRST?
I think FIRST is truly the program that gives you the opportunity to see all those real life problems that we face when we're designing a new product. So you get to go from the evaluating your ideas or doing conceptual designs, figuring out what your objective is. So we do the same thing when we're designing a new product. We figure out what is the purpose of this product? What does it need to accomplish? So set up your design specifications for the product. So we do the same thing with an FRC robot or an FTC robot. Is what is it trying to accomplish? And then after that is also looking at your resources. Okay, how much can it cost? Like what do we have available for us? And for FRC and for the robotics program, it's not just the cost monetary, it's also your mentors. What are your skills that you have in your mentors? What equipment you have that you can use to make parts? We evaluate all those things in industry also when we're designing a product. So it's about as real as it gets for a high school kid to design something like that.
That's awesome.
Yep.
It is. Yeah.
So do you think that you found very valuable things when you were in FIRST that like really stood out to you when moving forward with your career?
I think the thing that stuck out the most is the friendly competition aspect of it. Ever since I was a kid, I was very competitive. And I feel like you learn so much more when you're inspired to compete, when you have that friendly competition that it's not just about like, I don't want to compete with you and make you do bad so I can do better. Mm-hmm. It's about being better together and how do I push myself to the next level. I think that part of FIRST truly inspired me. The other part that also inspired me is I figured out what my career path was going to be. when I was a kid, I used to say I want to be an electrical engineer. That was like my dream. The first year of FRC, I did all the electrical in the robot, and I hated it. I couldn't do it. So the following, and I was actually jealous because I was doing all the wiring, and all the other kids were doing the mechanical design, making prototypes. I'm like, why? What am I doing here? So the next year, I started doing the mechanical stuff, and I said, oh wow, I really like this kinematic linkages. I want to be a mechanical engineer. So for me, on a personal note, it just completely changed my view on what I wanted to do. So I think that, doesn't get much better than that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is really cool. And now you're mentoring a tons of teams. That's like you full on 3 teams, right?
Yeah,
four.
1 FRC teams and then 2 FLL and 1 FTC, so 4.
So 4.
4
Yeah.
teams. That's
But we have a
lot.
great group of mentors that we're all working with, so can't say it.
That's really cool. And they're all they also get help from Sunnies.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we're doing the F2 FLL, so we haven't really asked Sunnies for anything right now. But Sunnies is mostly focused on the FRC side for now, and then hopefully in the future we can get some more mentors for FTC and FLL.
Yeah, that's a
So
really
if
good.
anybody wanted to connect with you on like trying to find out more about the fields that you're in, or
Okay.
wanted to connect with Sunnies, or wanted to connect with any of your teams, where can they go and what can they do?
We're actually have the kids working on the website right now for the team. So eventually it'll be team1251.org. It's not live yet, but hopefully in the next week or so it will be. If not, you can email me. My work email is dguzman, so DGUZMAN @sunniesdirect.com, or Gmail, david.guzman.1251@gmail.com. So you can send me an email with any questions, or if anybody in our area wants to join a team, we're always looking. Right now we have 14 kids doing FLL, about 25 kids doing FTC, and then most of those plus others will be our FRC kids once the season starts.
That's fantastic.
That is.
So
Thank you so
Thank you
much for coming.
Thank
Are
you
you
guys for
enjoying
having
Roboticon?
Yeah, no, we're having a good time and meeting lots of new people, so it's good.
That's good. Thank you so much.
Hopefully, actually next year we'll make sure our team comes down, because
Yes.
this year we couldn't plan it, but next year it was very organized, so I really want to have the team here next time.
and then maybe
Yeah.
next year we can connect with you and your team, and then find time for interviews like back to back.
That'd be
Find
cool.
out what it's
Yeah.
like from the mentor perspective. I don't know what I said. Perspective to the mentee perspective.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. That's cool.
That was really cool.
That is like the first story of like full on. I was in a first team. I got mentored, and now I got a job.
He jumped into the field right after high school. He got an internship. That's like the dream.